Alrighty guys, so today we're going to go over all the little bits and pieces that kind of generally put this turbo kit together. Everything you see here on the table, plus and minus some stuff I'm going to add along the way, which I'll have everything linked in the description below. I'll have everything listed of what it's for and whatnot. So that way if you guys are putting your own turbo kit together, you kind of have the gifs of what to do, where to go, and all that. So first we'll start off with the Radium box here. So everything I got from Radium is the full kit that they offer. So I got the Radium fuel pump kit. So what Radium does is they offer, let me get this out of the box to show you guys. They offer a little sleeve, and I'll go over that in the video when we get to the fuel system. So what they do is they offer a nice little sleeve that fits an aftermarket pump, and they pretty much give you the install kit to go with it as well. So that's for the Radium fuel pump kit. Now this is also something I got separate because I can see the Radium didn't include the little sock that goes in the fuel pump kit. This is also an additional fuel pump install kit. This came with the fuel pump that I ended up purchasing, which is a Walbro 535, and that is right here. It is OEM Walbro 535. It's the biggest aftermarket fuel pump I think that that E46 M3 supports. I believe so. Don't quote me on it, but when I was looking at aftermarket pumps, that was the biggest one I had. Then we have injectors. Shout out to KSM Motorsports. I believe they're in Cyprus. I got the injectors from them. I'll be running 1400cc injectors. I've heard nothing but great things about them, so hopefully, fingers crossed that their injectors do me well. They also come with a lifetime warranty, so that's pretty cool there. I would have went with the Fuel Injector Clinic pumps, or sorry, not pumps. The Fuel Injector Clinic, what is that called? I'm having a brain fart right now. I would have went with the Fuel Injector Clinic injectors, but if I'm being honest, it was just completely out of budget. I'm not sure I mentioned in some of the previous videos, but I'm already well over budget. So if I can get quality parts for a great price, that's what I'm going to be doing. Now, this is the Radium fuel rail plumbing kit, but this does not come with the fuel rail. You do have to buy it separate when you buy just the Radium fuel rail. So make sure you guys do that. And to show you guys the fuel rail, I have not taken it out yet, so we will be unboxing this together. There it is. Nice Radium Engineering fuel rail. It looks pretty sick. I am excited for it. And let's put all the fuel system components back together so I don't get it confused. Now for the turbo feed, there is a adapter you can get from boostmonkey.com. What it is, it's a little fitting right here. So this screws into the back of the oil filter housing on the S54, and then you put your feed line right there. Now I don't have my feed line yet. I was gonna make one. Out of leftover hoses, but I didn't have the right fitting, so I ended up just ordering one. This is a dash 10 AN for the turbo drain. Then I also have check valves for the fuel system. So I'll show you guys where to install that. And then we're also going to have, so I know this is kind of controversial that I'm doing it this way, but this is for the oil drain. It's a dash, it's a dash 10 AN line. So what I'll do is I'll be drilling a hole into the timing cover, and then you get this nut on the back of it, and it'll kind of sandwich together. The reason why I'm doing that is I don't know how to weld, I don't know how to fabricate, and since I'm on a really big time crunch, I can't really afford to drop off the timing cover to a fabricator. Now we'll move on to the turbo. As you guys can see from the box, we went with a Pulsar turbo. It's going to be a 6466. Let me go ahead and move the camera over here so you guys can get a better view. I'm gonna unbox the turbo with you guys. This is the first time I'm actually unboxing the turbo. I mean, I looked at the turbo and checked everything that was there, but this is the first time I'm actually like diving deep into the box. So what we got here is a Pulsar Gen 2 6466. Now you guys are probably thinking, oh, why didn't you go Precision, Bohr Wagner? To be honest, from what I've seen with the Pulsar turbos and the performance that you get for the money, it's pretty impressive. Not only that, from what I've read around on forums and looked in the community and whatnot, the Precision stuff bolts right onto the turbo. All the Precision stuff literally bolts right on to the Pulsar. No shaft play. It's a brand new turbo from Pulsar. It spins freely. This one isn't a T4. Sorry, this one isn't a divided, but that's okay, because what we did was, please hold. I was gonna buy it new, but luckily, I found a guy on Facebook Marketplace that was selling a used Precision T4 twin scroll turbine housing. So you can see the AR is 1.15. I wanted to at least run a 1.0 on this turbo, so I'm very excited to be able to find that. That was a really good score. It saved me like almost 300 bucks because I got it for 200 bucks and it was like 480 plus shipping and tax when I did the math on Precision's website. So really happy that we got to save there. I'm gonna throw this turbine housing up for sale, so if anyone needs a T4 turbine housing, hit me up. Now on to the intake manifold. This is a deep motor intake manifold. Oh, you guys can't even see it. There we go. This is a deep motor intake manifold. I did buy it used, but you can still, they are readily available. You can buy them brand new. I was just lucky enough to find a guy that was parting out a car, and he ended up having this. It was actually one of the first pieces of one of the first parts that I purchased for the turbo build. And then I also, so even when you buy it brand new from Deep Motor, they do not give you, they don't give you silicone. hoses to attach it to the throttle bodies. So you do have to buy that separately. And I'll throw those down in the link I'll link those all in the description. I totally forgot I had this. We'll move over to this right here. This is a fuel pressure regulator and fuel filter. So you can see filters in there. Now this is pretty much a knockoff of the, what's that called? This is pretty much a knockoff of the version that Radium makes. Now Radium's kit is like $300. And it's pretty much the same thing. And this was like $35. So I figured what I'll do is, so you can see here, this is your pressure. You got all your fittings and whatnot, your clip fittings. This is the pressure regulator. Now I read some reviews, and there was only one guy that was running this, and he had nothing but good things to say about it. He pretty much said that it was an exact copy of the Radium one, which, I mean, if we're being honest, everything is made in China. So if that can help me save some bucks, which it did, and it works, hopefully, you know, that'll be super, super, super nice. But anyways, enough about the fuel pressure regulator. This is a Ford MAF, or MAF, mass airflow sensor, and this is the connector that goes with it. I'm actually going to put that in the same baggie so I don't lose it. So the tuner I'll be going with is Hasana HTE. He uses, or he prefers to use, the Ford mass airflow sensor. So I went ahead and grabbed that. Also, always check with your tuner to make sure that there's specific parts that he wants you to buy, what specific parts he wants you to buy, and all that. So every tuner is different. I don't believe he's going to tune off of O2s. He told me that he doesn't use O2 sensors. He goes off of the Ford MAF. I guess we'll be going off of the Ford MAF and the AFR, which, speaking of AFR, we do have a AEM AFR gauge. And this is the sensor to go with it. I'll actually put a link in the description below. I actually saved like $60 by buying the gauge and sensor separately. Now, I'm not 100% sure. It does kind of look like it's a knockoff sensor. If you guys can, you know, chime down in the description below and kind of see, that font looked kind of off. But then if I look at, I mean, because I'm used to dealing with BMWs, if you look at the font and everything that's on the O2 sensor itself, it looks genuine. And yeah, I ended up getting the sensor for $30. So I got this sensor for $30. Then I got the gauge for $80. So 80 plus 30. This is like brand new on AEM's website, AFR gauge, and this is the new series, the new style. So it's like $200. You can find them around like $189, $190. I spent less than 80 plus 30. That's less than $120. So when you're building a car and the budget starts to go down because you didn't account for everything and trying to save money as much as possible, especially the way inflation is going, you definitely want to do that. Okay, now you guys are probably thinking, where am I going to mount that Ford MAF? Well, I bought this tube here, and the Ford MAF will go right into there. And what I'll be doing is, Hassan was like, make sure the MAF is located before the blow off. So I think what I might do is I'm I'm going to have to get a little elbow anyways for this. So I'm pretty much going to mount that there. If I have room, like wherever I mount it. Now I'm going to get an elbow depending on like once I throw everything in the car, how it fits and whatnot. But we're pretty much going to use this. If I got to cut it in half or shave some of it down, we'll definitely do that. But this is much easier for me because it already has the bung for the MAF in the pipe itself. And then I can shave and trim a pipe. I don't know how to weld. So that's why I went with that. It made some more sense. Now, what is this here? This is blow-off valve. It's a knockoff tile. The reason why is I don't know if I'm going to be running a blow-off valve or not. I like the sound that the cars make without a blow-off valve. I think it's pretty cool. Plus, the reason why I bought a fake tile blow-off valve is that there's a lot of reps out there. And this was like 25 bucks. And I've also done a lot of research. I've heard nothing but great things about this company or this manufacturer in particular with the tile blow-off valve. So that's why I went with it. And then also, I'd rather buy a replica than kind of get got, because I've also seen that there's some really good replicas out there for the tile blow-off valves that I don't want to get got. All right, so now to mount the gauge pods, this is optional. You don't have to do this. You can pretty much have your gauges hang freely. You can make your own custom. But what I ended up doing was I found this seller on eBay, and you guys will see. Let me just unscrew this here. So I'm going to be running 3 gauges total. This is the AFR gauge. So you can see I might have to trim this a little bit. This one is a little bit tighter than the other one. You guys will see. But pretty much that's going to fit there. And this will go, so this kit is designed to fit in the driver's side vent, which you guys can kind of see in the car. That's right there. So yeah, this is designed to fit in the driver's side vent. So pretty much I think that's exactly where the AFR, I'm going to mount my AFR gauge. Did I just crack that? I hope not. No, we're all good, guys. False alarm. But I need to be more careful with that. So this is the AFR gauge. Actually, no, I think the AFR is going to go right in the middle with the boost. But yeah, so this is the driver's side one. And now these right here, these are going to go in the middle vent. So you can see they're 3D printed, and it'll actually help you retain some vent functionality versus none at all. So now, since we're on the topic of gauges, you can see that I already showed you guys the AFR gauge. Now I got the Innovate E45 ethanol content gauge reader. It also displays fuel temperature, and it will also this one also does come with the sensor as well. The reason why I got this gauge is because I am going to be running E85. It is readily available to where I am. The car is not going to be a daily driver, and I do want to have the ability to have 2 different maps. When I talked to Hassan at HT, he said that we can run multiple maps on the stock ECU, so I'm really excited for that. So that's the reason why I did that. Now we got the catch can, oil catch can. I went with the Evil Energy oil catch can. I've used them before in the past for AN lines and fuel lines, and I've ended up with great success. So I went back with them and got the catch can. Also, this one comes with a breather, so that is a plus. I'm not sure where I'm going to mount the catch can. I think I'm going to put it in the drug bin area that is on the E46s. To all my E46 guys that are watching, you guys know that you guys know that reference exactly. Now this is all 10. I got 10 feet of dash 10 AN lines, and it's pretty much an assortment pack of fittings and whatnot. So you got quick releases, you got 45s, you got 90s. It was easier for me to do that because I'm gonna try to use dash 10 as much as possible. So I figure why not get the 10 foot. And then lastly is the wastegates that we'll be running. The wastegates, I'm gonna go with VS Racing. The reason why I'm going with VS Racing is when I bought this turbo kit, these are the ones that came with it. And I've also read a lot of reviews on VS Racing, and they definitely look pretty promising. So that's why I'm going to stick with them. Also, like I mentioned before, I'm kind of way over budget. So for me to buy, not only do I need one quality wastegate, I need two. So two Turbo Smart wastegates, 44 mils. We're looking at like $300 a pop. That's $600 just on wastegates. And you guys can see here the downpipe that I've got. It's a pretty good downpipe. It's made really well. Now I'm going to explain to you guys why I'm not going to be using it. The reason why I'm not going to be using this downpipe is because I simply cannot afford to build the entire custom exhaust the way I want to. Also, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know if I want to go to a true single exit exhaust, or if I want to retain the dual outlet on the E46 that it traditionally comes with. I also don't know if I want to run 3-inch, 3.5, 4-inch. Of course, I would love to run a 4-inch. I don't even know if I have the clearance. So, and lastly, I just don't have the time to drop the car off and get the exhaust done. It's July 25th today that I'm recording this video, and you can see the motor's not even in the car yet. Hopefully, fingers crossed, God willing, we'll have everything buttoned up. Turbo drain on the timing cover, all the sensors, everything, all the accessories. The exhaust fan manifold you guys saw in the previous clip is on. The intake manifold, I'm gonna put it on. And I also gotta start, vacuum hoses and wiring stuff and stuff like that, and plumbing and all that stuff. So that way, I'm gonna do everything I can on the outside of the motor and wrap that all up tonight. And then we'll throw in hopefully in the next clip, you guys will see. In the next video, you guys will see is me throwing the motor in the car and then starting to put everything in. Because yeah, I'm just gonna take the camera off and show you guys. Because like I said, I'm gonna be fully transparent. This is the car right now. You can see the interior is in shambles. There's a lot of junk in it, I know. It's, yeah, disgusting. Trans is right there. We still have to throw in the dual clutch, or sorry, not dual clutch, the twin disc. Now the reason why the steering wheel and the gauge cluster is not there is because we did a custom gauge cluster and steering wheel. You can see the cage is just roughly mounted, so I have to take that out and paint it. Not gonna be running any back seats. Hopefully, if I have enough time, I want to make like a quick rear seat delete. And yeah, you can see fenders are not on the car. Motor is not in. Yeah, it's still a lot of work to do, and we still got to sand the whole car down and wrap it. Which, I mean, I will reveal the wrap color. I'm sure if you guys have been paying attention to the video and all the background and whatnot, it the wrap color has been revealed. So yeah, the turbo kit, that's pretty much it. I will go over it more in depth when I'm throwing it on the car. I probably did a really bad job of explaining it, or even just going through it. There's also going to be a video at the end to break down everything you need to turbo your car and how much I'm in my build and how much it'll cost for you to build a turbo kit, because there's only 2 turbo kits that are readily available for the E46 M3, and they're not really the best kits. I mean, if you want to make your car turbo, don't want to make a lot of power, they'll work. But if you want to have a really quality kit and make a shit ton of power reliably, safely, this is the way to go. But yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.